I do remember on the first yes, I was like, oh my gosh, this can actually work and all that stuff. Because always in the beginning, you're reaching people, but they're not saying yes.
Mhm.
You still have a little bit of doubt, even though you see everyone doing it.
Right.
Until you see it for yourself and see that you can do it. I think there's always a little bit of doubt, but as long as you push forward, I think you get that reassurance. So
Some interview with Julio, one of our newest surplus warriors. He joined about a month ago and he has 16 contracts out on deals as we speak. He's absolutely killing it. And I wanted to sit down, talk to him, learn what he did to be successful, and pass it on to you. So check this video out, guys. After you guys are done, click the link down below. Check out the free surplus fund training if you haven't seen it yet. And other than that, I will see you on the interview. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another, I don't know what this is, interview, I guess, with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Julio. Julio, welcome, my friend. Now, Julio joined here. I just asked him. He joined sometime in late June. And it is currently, what's the date today? Today is July 24th, 2019. So you've been in the program for about a month. And I mean, you just told me you have 16 contracts out and you've called for 15 or 16 days. So you're basically averaging one contract a day, which is ridiculous.
mhm.
But you did also say you had some trouble early on. But
Yeah.
before we get into any of that, I'm actually curious about you, Julio. So I would like to know, if you don't mind sharing, kind of a little bit about yourself, what got you into surplus funds and all that, if you don't mind sharing that.
Yeah, of course. Well, actually, like a year ago, I started doing this thing called wholesaling for real estate, and it was going all right, but I wasn't seeing too many results, and I kind of not got bored of it, but like I just got a little tired of trying to do the same thing. And I know in wholesaling, I'm looking for literally like 3% of the marketplace, but with this, I felt like I could actually help a little more. I feel like this is more of what I like to do. Um, so I hopped on the webinar and I really liked what I was hearing. So I joined, and the first module was crazy to me because that was something I was definitely missing. And even that, I was already like, this is so worth it because this is already teaching me something I didn't know, and it hasn't even talked about the tactics yet. So I felt like that was really helpful. Um,
Appreciate
but
it.
yeah, since I was little, like my dad was showing me Rich Dad Poor Dad and all that stuff. So I my dad's kind of the entrepreneur himself, so he kind of taught me some of this stuff.
Definitely.
And I've been trying to do like business stuff for a while now, so that's how I ended up here.
That's awesome, man. Well, welcome. We're happy to have you. And I appreciate what you say about module one. You know, it's funny. Module one is such a controversial module for us because we have people like you who are like, oh my God, this is amazing. We love it. And we have people who are like, I don't want Spencer to teach me how to live my life. And I know it's a very controversial thing. And for these guys that are in the program that are watching this, just know that when I put that together, I am assuming that, you know, you want to take this to the highest level you possibly can. And every piece of advice I give in that, it's not, you don't have to follow it all. You can pick and choose what you want to do, but just know that at the end of the day, in my opinion, living a disciplined life is going to help you in business.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. I don't know, but that's just my opinion. That's what I've been told. It's the people I've studied, they all seem to be very disciplined. I don't know, but that's just my opinion. But I appreciate that you enjoy it. So anyway, so you hop in, you go through the videos, you go through module one, you go through module two and all that. And then, you know, you say you've only been making calls for 16 days. So that probably took you, what, a week or two?
To start calling, to finish the modules.
Yeah, and then start calling.
Yeah, so I stopped at the point where it said where it started teaching about the foreclosure stuff. I just said like I'm not gonna watch it yet because I don't really need it yet. So I stopped there. It took me about a week, I think, to watch it all and prepare how I was gonna say everything and stuff like that, and figure out what process I was gonna do, like what process I was gonna use to get the deals eventually closed. So yeah, about a weekend I started calling, and I at first it was like I was reaching like 2 to 3 people, and I was just going down 10 contacts. Even if I didn't reach them, I would just say like I did my 10 contacts. But after I realized like that probably wasn't too effective,
Yeah.
so I started going at least like if I reach 7, 8 people, like that's at least better than just picking 10 and just if I don't reach them, I don't reach them.
Right.
But every day has been about 2 hours of calling. I try to do at least 2 hours so that that way I know I can stay consistent with it. If
Yeah.
I try to do like 4 to 5 hours every day, I'm not gonna last too long, probably. At least not right now, but
Right.
that's something you probably have to work up to. So
Absolutely.
yeah, just been staying consistent. I've been trying to do 2 hours. Usually with those 2 hours, I reach probably like 7, 8, sometimes 10 if I get, it just depends on the day. But yeah,
Right.
just trying to stay consistent with it.
Awesome, man. And so I know you mentioned before we started recording that you'd done some wholesaling cold calls before. So were you really nervous going into it your first day, or were you kind of like, I've done this before and I'm just excited? Like, what was kind of the thought process going into it?
Yeah, so I was a little nervous just because it's a different process. You have to say different things, and um, I think anytime you go into something not fully knowing everything, I think there's always a little bit of uncertainty and a little bit of nerves.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if I'm honest with the people I'm talking to and let them know that I'm just here to help, I feel like whoever they're just gonna sense that from me instead of trying to act like I'm, someone else or someone who's been doing it for like 5, 10 years.
Right.
I'm just trying to be honest with them, let them know this is my business. I do it by myself here in my home office, and I'm just trying to help as many people as possible.
Right. Awesome, man. And so I also remember you brought up that the first couple of days of calling didn't go very well. So what do you mean by, I know you weren't able to reach a lot of people, and did you get a little discouraged, or was it just like, I need to up my game? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, so since I did reach people the first couple days,
Mhm.
I knew it wasn't a matter of, this process isn't working or anything. I knew it was just a matter of improving myself, like
Mhm.
the way I have to communicate with them and everything. I wasn't doing it well because I wasn't, like I feel like my voice naturally, I don't have too much of too much enthusiasm or anything like that. But
Right.
I feel like once I kind of learned how I'm supposed to sound like,
Right.
um, and I do try to practice that in my everyday life just because I think it helps.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, in the beginning, I just I didn't know how I was going to uh, say everything in the script and all that. So I feel like that kept my results a little down. But eventually, I read that book, and it's not really about being perfect on the first day. I think it's about learning from those first days when you're not doing too well, learning what you can improve on, and then improving on it and getting to work.
Right. Awesome, man. So now fast forward a little bit, you're making calls and you get your first yes. So can you kind of take me through like what that deal was, what happened there?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not. I think it was. Shoot, I can't remember the exact person, but um, I do remember on the first yes, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this can actually work," and all that stuff. Because always in the beginning, you're reaching people, but they're not saying yes.
Mhm.
You still have a little bit of doubt, even though you see everyone doing it.
Right.
Until you see it for yourself and see that you can do it, I think there's always a little bit of doubt. But as long as you push forward, I think you get that reassurance. So
Like that was what was that a weekend? Was that like how many days was that into calling?
um, must have been on like my third day, I think,
Okay,
of
so third,
calling.
fourth
Yeah.
day, you got your first yes. And then when did it? Because I mean, now you've talking about you've called for 16 days, so now you're 3 days in. So that means you got another 13. So that means you really started picking it up then. If you've got 14, 15, 16 more deals or 15 more deals out there, when did you really start to hit that consistent stride of like every single day? Was it when you picked up the call? I know you said you started picking up 2 hours a day and all that. Was that really when it hit, or what was it? Kind of a combination of things. Like what happened?
Yeah. So I think on the fourth or fifth day, um, you just have to practice your script a lot, I think, and if you have it down well, I think regardless if you don't reach that many people, the ones you do reach, they're gonna respond well. And I was doing like smaller deals in the beginning, like they were owed like $400. I
Mhm.
think most of these deals that I've sent out, they're not owed too much. I'm just trying to get down my process and everything. It's still early days in the business, but I'm just trying to get everything down and practice as much as possible. But yeah, I think ever since like the 5th day, it's been like 2 a day, or
Wow.
yeah, sometimes 2 a day, sometimes 1 a day. I have it down in the Excel, the activity tracker, but I haven't been, I don't have it up right now.
I
So
got
I
you.
can't really see it. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Damn. So, and then I heard that, so obviously start out small, which is something we recommend
Hmm.
because, and people that are watching this, we have people, look, let me just say this. For those of you guys that are watching, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Okay. Especially if you guys are in my program, I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Okay. I understand you guys want to start and your first day, you want to make $100 million. I do too. But, okay, we specifically say, David, I should say, specifically says, start with, the lower amount deals, the lower level deals. And the reason why we do it is because it gives you the opportunity to practice. It gives you the opportunity to, make mistakes, and it's not costing you $10,000. It's costing you $40, and it's not the end of the world. And then once you build up your confidence, then you work your way up. So you start with that. And then if I don't know, this is what David told me, and I don't even know if I remember correctly, but you've now gotten 2 bigger or somewhat bigger deals, like a couple $1,000s each, right? Are those
Yeah,
deals?
there's these last 2 that I sent out, they were owed 7,000.
Both? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So was that 14 or is that 700 or 1,400? I don't know what state you're in.
So 7,000, 10%, that's
It was
700.
1,400 for
Yeah, for both. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, there you go, 1,400.
Hmm.
But what I love about it is the fact that everything you said is like, I just followed what was laid out. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
I didn't try to reinvent the wheel. Like I just followed what was there. And I just wish I could teleport into, this is going to sound really weird. I could teleport into everyone's house that buys my program and just stand there and just make sure they just do what's in front of them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really the secret is just do it. Just whatever
Yeah,
we
yeah,
say.
because yeah, if I have a millionaire telling me to do something, I'm gonna do it for
Yeah,
sure. Because
right. No,
it's more about just following. That's what I've been doing, is just following everything that the course teaches. So I'm like, if I can't fail if I just follow everything.
right. I love it,
You
bud.
know?
That's awesome. That's the right mentality.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know, I
there's
have
no
something
like,
like this sometimes.
yeah, there's no like weird interpretation where I'm like, I'm gonna change this up like a lot, and I'm just gonna do it my way. I'm not trying to interpret it as me. I'm just trying to follow exactly what I'm being told.
Awesome, man. So let me ask you this. If you could go back and you could talk to someone right now who just signed up for Surplus Home Mastery,
Mhm.
literally might be 24 hours in, they bought it 3 seconds ago. They're like, I don't know what's going on. Right. What would you tell that person when they're just getting started?
Yeah, so I would just say to follow exactly what the course is saying, because there's a reason. I feel like there's a reason why it's made the way it is, and probably it's modeled off what success you've done or success that you've seen. So I just feel like if you follow the people who have already succeeded, then you have a direct path towards success. So just don't try to don't overthink anything either. Like when you're thinking too much, I feel like you take less action. So I feel like the action you take it just shuts off the thinking mind. Like before you dial, like don't even think anything. Just dial call. Don't let your mind get to you at all. Just know that it's your mind trying to play tricks on you. And you just got to the more action you take, the less you're going to be thinking.
That's awesome, man. It's funny. I heard a Tony Robbins quote that was very similar to that. It was like, you stay in your head, you're dead. You know what I mean? Like if you're sitting here and you're overthinking everything, like that was my big problem when I first started real estate. Like I did wholesaling too. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do wholesaling. And I was like, instead of like just making the calls, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to think about when I make this money, how I'm going to reinvest it. And then how that's going to make me more money. And then like, I'm thinking like 30 years down the line, I'm like, dude, I haven't even made a phone call yet. Like what?
Yeah, yeah.
What am I
I
doing?
feel like all those thoughts are just like you subconsciously trying to not take the action because you're a little scared, or at least for me, that's what it was. So
100%.
um, that's something you have to try to get rid of as soon as possible by just taking action.
100%. Take massive action.
And there's so many leads. Like if you lose one, it doesn't matter. Just go on to the next one.
100%. I love it, man. Cool. And then the second to last thing I'll say is, what about somebody that is on the fence about even joining? About they're like, you know what? I don't know. This looks too good to be true. This looks I don't know, just there's a lot of internet online course scams that I've been made aware of recently. And, you know, people have bad experiences. So what would you say to that person that's not sure if this is for them, that's worried, you know?
Yeah, so I would say that nothing's gonna come easy, but if you want a direct path, instruction and everything, if you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to take the action, then definitely buy it because it has laid out every step that you're gonna need to take. So if you're willing to take those steps, then I feel like this is the right course for you, and you won't regret buying it as long as you're taking the action and putting in the work. You know, nothing's gonna come free, nothing's gonna come easy, but if you're willing to do your part, this course does its part. So definitely go ahead and get it, I would say.
Awesome, man.
Hmm.
Awesome, my friend. Well, congratulations on the 16 deals. Keep us updated.
Thank
Um,
you, thank you.
I know you've been somewhat active in the Facebook group, yeah. So if people have a question for you, can they post on there? And
Yeah, go ahead and DM me on Facebook. I'm always checking it,
I love it,
which I
man.
probably shouldn't be, but
Probably shouldn't be, but it's
yeah.
okay. It's okay, man.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Is there anything else you'd like to say while we're on here?
For everyone who's thinking about not doing the 30-day challenge, do the 30-day challenge because I think I'm on my 22nd day or something like that, 23rd day, and it's my life is completely different right now than it was like 23 days ago.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do that. I know it's pretty tough, but yeah, you're kind of forced to deal with yourself instead of just like band-aiding your problems a little bit. So go ahead and do that, and if you can get through it, it becomes kind of a habit. So definitely stick with it.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm excited. Thank you for pitching the 30-day challenge.
Yeah, yeah,
I've
for
been trying
sure.
to get people to do it too. I love that. Real quick, I love that you talk so much about like working on yourself, because one thing I'll say real quick, I'll drop some knowledge and then we'll end it. Is,
Okay.
I don't believe that anybody actually has business problems. I believe people have life problems that translate into business problems. Like if you have a problem following up, it's because you have a problem being consistent. You know, if you have a problem, you're not making cold calls because you're scared. It's because you have a problem with fear, right? Like, and I don't think, like, yes, there are business problems, but I think most of those are actually just life problems that you then, foreshadow or you push onto your business. So just food for thought. But anyways, my friend, hey, Julio, it was great talking to you, man.
Yeah, you
Thank you
too.
so
Thank you.
much. I hope you enjoyed it. And
Thanks for
everybody
having me.
watching
Yeah.
this, click the button down below, sign up for the free training, and you guys can check that out. So with that being said, I'm going to end this recording. Have a good one, guys. Take care.